Hey guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. In this video, we're going to be going over a Shopify application and we're going to show you guys the process of building it. At the same time, we're going to show you guys some new tools that maybe you have never used, but can help you out to get jobs or get projects completed. And when I mean jobs, like maybe gigs or things like that that you might have as a Shopify developer or even as a web developer in general. Okay, so we're going to be using ASANA to basically manage our whole project, and we're going to show you guys the whole process in here. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a second. Hey guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. In this video, we're going to be looking at a Shopify application that we are going to be creating in the course of Master Shopify App Development course with Node.js. Okay, now in this course, we're going to be teaching about pretty much everything about Shopify and using the latest tools that are provided from Shopify, like the Shopify CLI. And again, this video is part of the course. So what exactly is the application that we're going to be building? We're going to be building an application where people can create frequently asked questions and then also embed them within their websites. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Shopify has allowed people to basically create applications that can become blocks inside of a theme. So let's say, for example, I'm a store owner and I wanted to add a specific theme, right? An application for the FAQs, right? So the same way how we have sections here where I can easily drag and drop them, right? I can move this from here, put it to the top, just like that. We are basically going to create this application that allows us to create FAQs, and then also too, the user is going to be able to just drag and drop them anywhere on the website. So it could be on the home page, it could be on a page called contact, it could be on a product page, it could be anywhere that they want to put it. Okay, so again, we're going to be building that with Shopify in this course. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to sign up to ASANA. If you guys don't know what ASANA is a free service. Okay, is basically you could pay for it, but for you guys that are building basic features and keeping track of your projects, it's a great tool. So we're going to use ASANA. We're going to come in here. I'm going to log in. Just a second. All right, and there we go. So now I have access to all of my projects and everything that I'm working on. Now, for you guys that are new, when you register, they're going to ask you about a space, right? A space that you could have whatever name you want to call it. You could call it engineering. You could call it development projects, right? You could also have multiple spaces. You could have like a private space and basically a space for your projects that you might want to have other people to work on. Okay, so for me, I have it in the engineering, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my first project, which is going to be for this one, this Shopify application. So I'm going to click right here and I'm going to click on project. Okay, now in here, I'm going to create a blank project just to show you guys how to build this. And we're going to call this one FAQ are us. So that's the name of the application. So this is going to be public to engineering. So any of my engineers, they have access to this if they want to. Okay, and basically it's gonna keep the same format. We could do it like this on a list like that, or we could do it on a board. It's up to you how you want to do it. This time around, I'm gonna use a board. So now that we're here on this board, the first thing that I like to do is I like to write down what are the features that we are supposed to be creating, right? So I'm just gonna use this and say features for app. Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to write down all of the features for the app. Now, to not waste your time, you seeing me type this, I'm going to pause the video and then I'll show you guys the features. So here are the main features of the application. And it really comes down to being able to install this application in multiple stores. And then when multiple stores install them, we have some type of table where we save all their information or maybe the sessions of each store. So like that, when the user goes in and says, hey, I'm using from cpcourse.myshopify.com or let's say 87lux.myshopify.com, when they use that application, they load up their own FAQs. Okay, so we need to create that feature. Multiple stores can use this app. The other feature is store can create multiple facts. Okay, so the same way how we see here, most companies, they're gonna have like one frequently asked question section that could be in the contact page, but maybe they want to have another frequently asked question on the product page, and also too they might want to have a frequently asked question on the front page. So we want to allow the user or the store owner to be able to create multiple of these. Okay, and then at the same time they can also have multiple questions inside of each FAQ. Now another thing that we have here as a feature is each store gets one free FAQ, meaning one of these, right? And then it has a maximum of 3 questions. So basically 1, 2, and 3. That's it. That's as far as that they're gonna get for free. Okay, so it's like a great way for they could try it out, and then from there, if they want more, right, if they want to create more FAQs or have more than one question inside of their FAQ, then they're gonna have to upgrade. They're gonna have to come in and they have to pay for a subscription. It could be $5, it could be $10, etc. Right? We're really trying to build this application the same way how you will build a full stack application and a full Shopify app for you to start making money. Okay, so this is the way how you got to start thinking. How can you go in, allow people to try your application, but then at the same time, what's going to be the incentive for them to pay? Okay, so there you go. You get to try it for free. You get to use the application. You get to create one FAQ. You get 3 questions. You want more than that? Hey, you got to pay. Okay, and then from there, we're also going to have another feature, which is going to be dynamic FAQs. Every single time somebody comes in and clicks on the FAQ, right, we want to keep track of each question that got clicked on. And then dynamically, we want to make sure that the question that has the most clicks gets to become the first one. Okay, so it's going to be sorted depending on how many clicks people have actually clicked on. So for example, if I'm looking at a website or a subscription, right, and I come in here and I say, okay, what's the most frequently asked questions? People want to get a refund. Can I get a refund? Right? If everybody comes in here and clicks on this one, that means this is the #1 question that people are always looking to ask. So we don't want to place this at the bottom. We want to put this at the top. Now that's a feature that we're only going to allow the users who are actually, paying members or, paid subscribers to this application. Okay. So again, this is a real application. Yes, it might seem like simple to some of you guys, but there's a lot to it. Okay, we're gonna have to set up the back end. We're gonna have to set up things for the front end. We gotta create the dashboard for people to be able to create the frequently asked questions. We might even have to create like a chart, right? So using some type of chart system to give them data, right? Like a report of like which one is the one that's getting clicked on the most, right? So again, it's a full application for Shopify that, at the end of the day, this is an application that I might go in and launch it at the end and make some money out of this app. Okay. Especially because if we look on Shopify App Store, right? One of the most popular, apps is FAQs, right? There's a lot of companies that are doing FAQs, and it's for a reason. It's because people, they need this, right? FAQ page, free product FAQ, easy slider, accordion tabs FAQ page. And you might say, well, there's enough people already creating something like this out there. Why would I go and create the same one? Well, it's because if it works for them, it's going to work for us. Now it's up to us to actually improve on what they have created. Okay. I haven't seen any of these people actually create a dynamic FAQ that actually sorts itself depending on how many people actually click on a question, right? They usually go in and just create a simple accordion like you see right here, how it is. And that's pretty much it. Okay. And they charging for that. So again, if we look over here, there's people, they got even reviews October 5th. I mean, today is the 5th. So people, they want this. Again, they want this. This is an application that people are willing to pay for. And look at this. They got 230 reviews. So that tells you, right, if by 20% of people actually leave reviews on websites, let's say, bring out the calculator, right, real quick. If this is 20%, right, 230, let's say 230, okay, times 100 divided by 20. So let's say on average they could be having, right, and this is an estimate, they could be having 1,150 people that's actually using this application. And let's just say they are paying $3.99. So let's say times $3.99, that's $4,588 that they're making, right? And that's an estimate. That's a rough estimate. They could be making more, they could be making less. Okay. Now, if we look over here, you might say, well, that's almost nothing. $4,000 or $5,000 a month, right? But think about it like this. They have one app, they have another app, and they have another app right here. And they probably got more apps coming up. With Shopify apps, you could go in and create a huge application. You could create the next Clavio, right? Or you could create the next Oberlo or whatever it might be, right? Which are huge applications. But then, you know, at the end of the day, the goal is to make income, right? If you have one that's making you $4,000, you have another one that's making another $2,000, then you have another one that's making $900. Now you're making like, you know, $7,000, $8,000 a month. That's enough for you to quit your job. That's enough for you to pay your bills and to maintain you. And then from there, of course, you continue creating new apps and creating new opportunities for yourself. Okay. So again, this might seem like a simple app, but you're going to see inside of the course that even with this simple app, it gets complex because there's a lot of moving pieces. All right. So now let's go in and break down this features that we have here into different tasks and things that we have to do in order. Okay. So I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to see you guys in a second. All right. So let's start with the first one. Okay. Which is this one right here. Multiple stores can use this app. Okay. So use app. I mean, we could rename this later on, and here we could write some description about it if we want to. Right here, I'm just gonna come in, I'm gonna say create connection to database, right? Create connection to database, create migration for let's say stores table. Then in here I'm gonna say save store to stores table when user authenticates, or let's say user installs the app. Okay, so there we go. And then now I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna give this a tag of backend, okay, and put this as red. Okay. Backend is not my favorite. Okay, so I'll put it in red. Okay, so then now the next thing that we want to do is we want to say store can create multiple FAQs. So in here we're gonna put in create FAQs. So in here I'm gonna say, okay, or let's say FAQs pages or pages. Let's just keep it as pages for now. So then now in here, what do we have to do? Now here, all we really need is just this. So basically we have the FAQ, we have a name for it. So like, let's say this could be about page, this could be product page, this could be whatever they decide to name that. So that should be an input field. Then from there we have a form where you could have a question and also to an answer. then we should also have like a plus button that will allow us to create more questions and answers. So plus to create more QA. Okay, and then from there, the feature of being able to add multiple questions. So that's pretty much done right here. Plus button to create more question and answers. Okay, so that's pretty much done right there. Now we also need a home page. So home page like that. Also too, let's go and tag this as the front end. So let's go and tag, let's say front end. Okay, front end, and let's make this like a blue color. Okay, so in here we have that home page. We need to have the feature of show a table with a list of FAQs. Okay, list of all FAQs. We might also need some pagination. Okay, let me see what else. So we might need some pagination, have a list of all the FAQs. It should also have let's say the title, create it, update it, right? So create it and update it. What else do we need for that? Let's say we could put in information about what page it got put on. I mean, technically we don't need that. We just need to have the title, create it and update it at which is basically the dates. So I think that's good enough. If anything, we could come back and change this around and add some more stuff. Okay, so then that right there, change that to blue. Okay, where was it? Add tags. Okay, front end. All right. Another thing that we need to do is have a page that shows the frequently asked question, right? So let's say, for example, when they click on the home page and they click on one of the items on that list of that table, it should take us to a page where we can see all of the questions and basically all of the questions and answers that we have there, and we should be able to edit them. So okay, FAQ show page, right? Show all the information of the FAQ, and then allow to edit each question and answer. Now later on we might decide to make this into its own page, so we might have like a show page where it shows all of the different, you know, the questions and also to the answers. But then if we click on a question, maybe we could create a page that's just to edit the question. Okay, so we can do that. Let me see, coming here, FAQ show. Okay, so let's also create that right here. Call this one show FAQ page, and let's name this add tags. Call this one front end. Okay, I think we put it here. We made it twice. For this one, I'm gonna say maybe edit FAQ page, and this might be something like instead of the FAQ edit FAQ page, we might just put in edit question and answer. Okay, edit question and answer page, form to edit the question and answer. Okay, Now also too, for the home page, let me change this to the tags. For the home page, one thing that I forgot was show table, right? Show table if user has any Q or FAQs. If the user has any FAQs, then we're gonna show this like that. Okay, we're gonna show the user that page that's gonna have the list of table or the list of the FAQs and the title created at, updated at, and some pagination. Else is going to have a blank page, or we could say empty state better, empty state that will have a button telling the person to create button to create new FAQ. Okay. All right, so now the next thing is to actually work on the back end again. So in here, we're gonna basically create the routes for all of these pages. So in here, we're gonna say create routes and save data. Okay, so in here, we're gonna go in and we're gonna say like this: create route for all FAQs list. Okay, route for create. Okay, save data. Okay, then we're also gonna need the route for editing data. Okay, and route for delete. Okay, data. Now this is where we're gonna have to do create FAQ. Okay, this is the same thing. FAQ. Okay, and then in here we're gonna put this in like create routes, FAQ routes. Okay, so FAQs, right? Okay, so that's fine. So then now in here we're gonna make this for the backend, right? We're also going to duplicate this task. This is pretty much the same thing. Give this a second. Being duplicated. Now we're gonna do the same thing. We gotta create a route for the questions, right? So question and answer routes. Okay, so we got QA, oh my god, I can't type, QA, and also QA. Okay, so route show all the QA. For this one, it's not gonna be to show all the QA. Route for showing QA list. Are we gonna need that? No, I don't think so. This one we could delete. So we need to have one that to create, another one to edit, and another one to delete. Then let's go and put the tag so we know which one this is actually marked as. So it's like front end. Okay, let's also go over here, tags front end. Okay, one thing that you can do, like once it's getting a little bit crazy, it's a lot of different tasks, you could always go to list. List is actually a little bit more manageable, right? That you could actually see all of these, right? Also too, you could have the board, like I said. You could do timeline, calendar. There's a lot of extra features that you have with ASANA, but again, it's up to you how you want it. So once we have this, create FAQ table, create QA table, what else is left? We need to have a memberships or membership table. So create membership table. I just realized I put this as the front end. It's supposed to be back end. So change this to back end, remove the front end, put this as back end. Okay. And then in here, we're going to do the same thing. The only difference is for this one, we got to go in and start putting in like the information as far as like the columns. So let's say we're going to have membership name. Let's just call it name, price. Okay. Name and price. And of course, created at, updated at. Okay, and that's pretty much it. God, I can't type. Okay, copy this. Let's put in the tag of backend. Okay, create a table. For this one, we're gonna put in the FAQ. There's gonna be a name for it. Then it's just gonna have created at. Maybe we'll have like a description. Okay, like a description, like a note that's they could put in. Okay, copy this, come back to this one. This one's gonna have question title and the answer. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's what the QAs is gonna have. And there we go. Okay, I think we're done so far. Let me look at the features. What else we have? Okay, each store gets one free FAQ with 3 questions. If they want to create more than one or want to add more questions to the FAQ, they have to pay for a subscription. So again, this is where we have this create memberships table. Okay, so also too, we might say over here where we are able to have the FAQ routes. Okay, we could put in limit amount of FAQs created depending on membership. Okay, let me copy this. For this one, we might say limit amount of QAs created depending on membership. So there we go. So we have that. And then over here, dynamic FAQs will sort from the most clicked questions. Okay, so that's another thing that we could put. So let's say for when we are creating this, I'm going to create FAQ page. Let's put in dynamic option. Let's say true or false. All right. Do they want it to be dynamic, the FAQ, or not? That's it. Okay. Let me see over here what else we have. So create Q8 routes, FAQ routes. Okay. Also tool limit dynamic mode only to paid memberships. Okay, and let me see, we got create FAQ table, create QA table, create membership table, And I believe that's it. That's pretty much our whole application. Okay. What else is left? Matter of fact, we need to make over here, make FAQs to be app block. Okay. So here we're gonna say this is done through the backend. So we're gonna say okay, so there we go, and that's it. I think that's self-explanatory, right? We don't have to go in and put in no more details. All right, cool. So far, right, I usually do this for myself. I'm like, yo, write features for app, right? And then once it's done and I know, okay, I got all the features done, everything that this app is supposed to do, then I just click over here, click complete, and put it on the complete side. And then as I go section by section, I'll go in and start completing them and moving to the other side. Now, another thing that I do want to mention is that we're going to start with the front page, right? Because this is going to be like the first thing. It's going to be easier to do the front end than actually doing the back end. So I'm just going to go in and create all of these pages first. And then from there, I'm going to go in and create the rest of everything else. Okay, so pretty good, right? So hopefully you guys are sticking with me. I know it's 27 minutes, this whole video, but it's good to see this whole process of how we create this application, right? And also how we come up with these ideas. Now, again, guys, if you are a member of CodingPhase.com, hey, you have access to this. If you still are not a member of CodingPhase.com, I don't know what you're doing with yourself right now. Like, this is the spot. Like, we actually building real applications, things that you're gonna be doing at a job. Like, no one else does this. Everybody else goes in and creates a little to-do app. We're actually creating applications that could be sold, that could be, you know, services for people. Like, we're doing research. We're actually building real projects. It's not just like a little cookie cutter thing. We're going to find problems. We're going to get stuck in some areas, right? And we're going to build it together. That's how you actually learn, okay? This is not going to be some cookie cutter course, okay? This is part of the Shopify app developer bundle. Again, but if you're a yearly member of CodingPhase.com, you have access to all of this, okay, guys? So again, it's the best deal, best community, great price. And again, if you just want to get started, start learning programming, start learning how to build things, you can start with $20, man. Okay, it's the best deal that's out there. And probably if you look in the description of this video, if you're watching it on YouTube, you probably get like a 20% off by using the link on the description of the video. So again, guys, we don't teach coding as a hobby. We here for the bag. Okay, so with this application, you're gonna learn so much about Shopify apps, and hopefully you guys can go in and start building your own applications and come up with your own ideas from this app. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.